Bible Week is a community, and is a community in which that's
wow.
much better.
We've got
Okay.
light now.
So what does Bible Week mean to me? Bible Week is a community. It's a community, and also surprisingly kind of the most bizarre but relevant annual vacation in which we can distract ourselves or extract ourselves from our routine. Even I would say Bible Week is almost a return to my time in the yeshiva. Why? Because, you know, as an academic in Jewish studies, I never stopped studying Judaism, but studying it within the academic context, not only that it has different elements, different orientations than studying it as a religious person, but also it's always been, I always work according to an academic agenda. And Bible Week is a week in which I can put aside whatever is relevant for my agenda, and for a week I will study the text which was chosen for this year. And amazingly, it is so similar to the yeshiva atmosphere, where you study a text with no relation to any specific commitments that you have now, except for your commitment to the text and to the God which is behind the text. So that's Bible Week for me personally on the most basic level. It's a kind of an opportunity to go back to my study in the yeshiva. But clearly Bible Week is much more than that, because I wonder, and I can't even understand and explain why it is within this context of interfaith dialogue that I am able to express myself, to contribute and to be contributed more than almost any other context of my life. So it's a week of fueling myself, yes, filling up. Let alone that the Bible Week for us as a family is a family opportunity. I can't even explain this miracle that the whole family really likes the Bible Week. So what I take from the Bible Week, it's energy. It's an energizer for the rest of the year even. It gives a lot of hope. But I still wonder about where are we heading to? How we will be able to not only to celebrate what is common, but also to cope with what is different. What the Bible Week now is leading me to is a search for a new model of interface. I wouldn't say dialogue, but almost, and not even encounter, but common effort, okay? A common effort in which different religions or different people of different faith will search together for their common journeys for the good in their religions. And that's a goal. It's complicated. It's related also to the political sphere, to the extent that our religions can be taken into bad deeds, and how can we help ourselves, each in his or her religion, but also as a common effort to give the divine good expressions through our religions. Because I think we all have the same task of not letting dangerous voices to erupt out of our religions, and to consider this as a common effort, as something that we can do together in the future, is the thing that I now take from the Bible Week. How can we proceed towards that, which is beyond studying a common text, but also introducing a common path. But it's a very unique common path. It's a common path in which each of us has his own journey, but we are investing in similar efforts, something like that. Okay.
Well, the Bible Week has been quite significant in my life. I first heard of it, I think in 1973, when I was a young student at Oxford, and friends were beginning to go. It must have attracted a lot of young people in the early years, but I had no interest at that time. And then in 1976, I went to study for 2 weeks in Jerusalem. It was my first visit to Israel. And Jonathan Magonet was with us for those 2 weeks, and he was really promoting the Bible Week. So I came to my first one in 1978. I may have come to one or two others about that time. I came back with my children in 1993. So this is probably my fourth in 2017. So I haven't been to a lot, but it's been spread out over nearly 40 years. Something very important happened to me through my meeting with Father Gordian Marshall. So it launched my career in writing. It all came out of the Bible Week. And then, because of my time at the Bible Week and the JCM, the Jewish Christian Muslim Week, both of which took place at Hedwig Dransfeld House at Bendorf, I decided to study to become a rabbi. So these interfaith encounters have been really important in my life. I mean, one of the interesting things is how little the Bible Week has changed over the years. And even though it's in a totally different part of Germany, even the food seems to be the same. Though I think the quality has rather improved since those early days. But the method of study, the morning meditations, the morning study groups, the afternoon lectures, the timings have changed a little bit, but really it's the same basic week. And then what I think's been most important in all these weeks is actually experiencing each other's worship and prayers and holy days at the end of the week. So these are constant elements which have remained over the years.
When I was just beginning my rabbinic studies, I was very influenced by Rabbi Lionel Blue, who'd helped me to cross a certain emotional barrier by coming to Germany. And in the course of that journey, I encountered various German Protestant pastors, and then through a series of connections, arrived at the Hedwig Dransfeld House in Bendorf, where there was an annual Catholic Bible conference. And the presence there of 3 young Jews, 2 of my colleagues, was just totally changed the nature of that encounter. This is, remember, in the 60s. It was the Germans who were there still felt enormous guilt and concerns about the war, about the treatment of Jews. And the fact that we were prepared to come meant that they came to us with questions which were really powerful and important, and far more challenging than anything I got from the Jewish world in England. And so I found myself drawn into that conference as a place where religion actually mattered. The fact of my being Jewish actually mattered. And I came to learn that the questions they asked forced me back to learn more about my own Jewish tradition and to find the qualities that I found amongst the people who were there within Judaism as well. So it impacted on my life in that it gave a new dimension to my own subsequent religious development and then my work as a rabbi. And having started at that situation, I somehow kept coming to the Bible Week, and then became part of the regular sort of organization over the years. And now, 49 years later, I missed 3 en route, but I've been to virtually every one. And have a kind of, it's a kind of special place in my life at this time of year. It's a kind of marking ground for my own development, my own story. And because I'm a Bible scholar, it's a great challenge to me every year to learn new texts, to work with them, and to teach them, and to gain from the learning of other people for my own sort of scholarship as well. So it's a kind of turning point every year, the summer, in my life, and a reinforcement and a reassurance that I'm in the right business.
I think this is the 22nd Bible week that I've come to, and I've come every single year since the middle or late 1990s. So now we're in the 21st century. I've had to be here. I've had to come to this foreign country, to Germany, every year. I've had meetings to come to as well, many, because I've been on the team that organizes the Bible Week, the famous team, since I think the turn of the century, since about 2001. So that was still in the days of Bendorf. So that's a big commitment of time and energy. And then there's this place, Haus Orbeck, since we hear the bells chiming there. Haus Orbeck has become terribly important to me. This place, I've seen it change and develop. Strangely enough, it was through me, but it was through me that we came here. The old house, I knew it well, the other center, the Heidhues house at Bendorf, I knew, and I was at a number of Bible weeks there, and then it had to close, and I was there that year, 2003, and I sent an email to a student here in Germany whom I'd got to know, a German theological student whom I had met in Israel when I was studying there in the 90s. And he circulated this email. And in the email I wrote, well, we have this wonderful Bible week I've been attending for years, and the place that we have the Bible week, the venue, the Heidhues house, is now closing. It is closed already. Have you any ideas about conference centers, residential, educational centers, anything like that? And so he circulated that to other people he knew in Germany. And one of the people who saw the email was one Dr. Uta Zwingenberger, working at a place called Haus Orbeck in this unknown place, actually, Georgsmarienhütte. I think Georgsmarienhütte is the most unknown element in the whole story. Most people don't know what it is or where it is, and we all think we're in Osnabrück.
Ich kenne die Tagung seit 25 Jahren, war nicht jedes Jahr dabei, aber immer wenn ich da war, war es eine unglaubliche Bereicherung für mich. Sie bedeutet für mich die Begegnung mit ganz vielen Menschen aus jüdischen Herkünften und aus christlichen Herkünften. Die Christen sind ja auch nicht einheitlich, ich bin ja selber Christ und katholisch, aber die Vielfalt, mit der ich hier begegne, ist also unglaublich. Ja, was hat sie für Auswirkungen auf mein Leben? Nun bin ich seit mehr als 30 Jahren im interreligiösen Dialog aktiv, und die jüdisch-christliche Bibelwoche ist für mich eine intensive Zeit, wo ich selber auftanken kann und selber lernen kann, wie Dialog geht. Nämlich zunächst mal sich zusammenfinden und in Gelassenheit aufeinander zuzuhören, auch wenn es manchmal hektisch ist. Also ich habe gelernt auf der Bibelwoche, und das hat große Auswirkungen gehabt, einfach auch Unterschiede auszuhalten und unterschiedliche Meinungen zu akzeptieren und stehen zu lassen und unterschiedlichen Erfahrungen zuzuhören. Das ist vielleicht die wichtigste Auswirkung.
Die Bibelwoche bedeutet für mich immer eine unglaublich dichte und intensive Zeit und ein Raum, wo ich mit ganz vielen Menschen und ganz vielen Gedanken einfach zusammenkomme. Und das macht es so spannend. Also das intensive Arbeiten, das Entdecken, wie Dinge zusammenhängen, wie Traditionen und Texte zusammenhängen und einfach auch das Gespräch mit den Menschen und das Entdecken von Menschen. Und ganz viel Lachen dabei. Also dieses Entdecken ist sehr lustvoll. Stopp. Also was für mein Verständnis vom interreligiösen Dialog das Wichtigste war, glaube ich, ist hier in dem Zusammenleben in einer ganzen Woche mit ganz unterschiedlichen Menschen eben zu entdecken, dass es ein ganz breites Spektrum an Ausprägungen gibt, wie Menschen ihre christliche Tradition oder auch ihre jüdische Tradition leben. Dass es sehr bunt und vielfältig ist und sehr persönlich geprägt, aber auch von der jeweiligen Tradition geprägt, dass es nicht das Judentum und das Christentum gibt, sondern eben ganz bunte und unterschiedliche Traditionen und Menschen, die hier wie ein ganz buntes Puzzle zusammenkommen.
I'm part of the Bible Week team, and so it's a wonderful experience collaborating with the rest of the team, Uta, Jonathan and all the rest of them, to create this amazing conference. I first came to Bible Week at Bendorf in the early 1990s, and then came for many years to Bendorf, and then started coming to Haus Orbeck in 2010 to give the lecture that year, and so it's once again become a big part of my life. It's a big commitment coming to all the team meetings, but it's always so creative and interesting. I love the learning that happens at the Bible Week. It's not very often you get a chance to sit and study for hours each day a particular biblical text, and it's just pure pleasure for me. I think it's made me much more aware of other perspectives of reading the Bible, Christian perspectives in particular, that I've encountered here at Bible Week, but also the chance to have a theological dialogue. For me, as a Jew engaged in interfaith dialogue, it's very important not just to share what Judaism has to say, but also to learn from others, to try and deepen understanding. It's not always easy, it doesn't always happen automatically, but it's very powerful. I also love the music at Bible Week. I love to sing, and it gives me a lot that I can come here and sing and lead services. It's changed my life. Maybe not really changed it, I don't think, but certainly enhanced it and made it richer and given that special dimension. I do a lot of interfaith work, and it's mostly a couple of hours here, maybe a day there. The idea of spending a week together in an interfaith context is so powerful, much, much more powerful than any of the other kinds of encounter that one has. So I think since I started doing it when I was a new rabbi, quite young, going through lots of changes in my life, I think it's really been one of the formative experiences of my life.
I and my late husband Leon, who appears, I think, in the frame, probably had attended Bible Week for at least 8 or 9 times, both in Bendorf and latterly at Haus Orbeck. Leon did a very interesting keynote address on Jeremiah at Bendorf. He also did a lovely presentation on the writer who lived in this area, Rabbi, who wrote All Quiet on the Western Front, and with Utta's lovely organisation, we went to the Museum of Rabbi in Osnabrück. Leon was always a Jewish resource person in the textual group, so for both of us it has been a unique experience. We've met some of the most fascinating people ever, and and looked at texts in depth that, have left us with enormous enlightenment over the years. So we are both, well, Leon is not here regrettably anymore, but I know that he loved coming, and as do I, and have just been able in the last 2 years to return without him. And but the welcome and the warmth and the understanding I've received has been without parallel. And I thank you for the privilege of being able to share some of these thoughts with you.
I was there the first time somewhere around 1980. I was quite surprised to see how many different people are coming to and are interested in the Bible text, which is a wonderful enterprise. And to me it has become a kind of anchor point in the year, because I most of the time I'm this expert person resource person in the group, so I feel obliged not to say many stupid things, and so I prepare seriously. And that means that weeks before the Bible week begins, I'm already in my thoughts with the Bible week. That's point one. Point two is that I love to meet again main characters who come from Leo Beck College, London, etc. And some, of course, from Germany and Holland. I love to see them again, to have a serious subject on the table and to talk about it.
Die ganz lockere, entspannte Atmosphäre, dass man sich wirklich begegnen kann. Und das intensive Studium mit Bibel. Und das im Gesamt ist mir sehr wichtig geworden. Jedes Jahr ein neues Bibelbuch. Also ich bin Bibelwissenschaftler und auf diese Weise auch mit Bibel umzugehen und besonders das zusammen studieren und lesen und der Austausch jüdisch-christlich ist mir sehr wichtig geworden, weil wie ich das spüre, es gibt auch einen Fortschritt sozusagen, genau in diesem Aspekt von Dialog, dass sozusagen das Jesus-Projekt nicht ein Sonderprojekt ist, aber ganz klar gestaltet worden ist oder aus der jüdischen Tradition und sozusagen ein jüdischer Projekt ist. Und dass es unsere Aufgabe ist, das mehr und mehr auch so verstehen zu können. Und den gemeinsamen Austausch. Das zu studieren, wie wir das heute Morgen gemacht haben, gestern gemacht haben. Und dafür halte ich die Bibelwoche für sehr wichtig.
Dankeschön.
Gerne geschehen.
And over the years, this is my, I think, 15th Bible week. Over the years, it's deepened my Catholic faith, and at the same time opened it for all the things that we can learn from Judaism and from, of course, the Old Testament, the Jewish part of the Bible. I was encouraged to come by two other women from Göttingen who had been long-time participants. So as soon as I was not involved so much in work and family, I was happy to join. And over the years, it's something that I don't want to miss. I don't want to miss being with other people for whom our relationship to God is important. And it's a great privilege in our society today, as a believer, as a person of religious belief, to be with others who also take religious belief very seriously.
einen, Beschäftigung mit der Bibel ist mir immer lebensnotwendig und zum anderen Beschäftigung mit der Bibel mit jüdischen Menschen ist mir genauso lebensnotwendig. Oft da, aber das letzte Mal war 1994, aber seitdem habe ich so gut wie jedes Jahr die Referate übersetzt und von daher habe ich nicht den Eindruck, dass ich völlig den Kontakt verloren habe. Also ich war zwar nicht hier und auch nicht die letzten Jahre in Bendorf, aber ich weiß, worum es geht. Ich habe den Eindruck, dass die Referate jetzt sehr viel anspruchsvoller sind als früher. Also ein höheres Niveau. Und das ist durchaus positiv.